So today's Saturday, and coming up on Wednesday is our transfer. So I think we'll take some time to walk you through what the transfer entails and also get you caught up on what we've been doing to get ready for the transfer.
A transfer is basically so we have my blastocysts, our blastocysts, on ice. So they've been frozen, and we're getting ready to do what's called a frozen embryo transfer, even though they're technically blastocysts. So, in order to do that, it's basically we're getting my body ready.
So the way I like to look at it is, let's say that a couple is trying to conceive naturally, and they're trying to, time when to have sex. And the way you try to time it is you want to time it for when the female is ovulating, right? When the egg is traveling throughout the female interstate. And so what the doctors are trying to do is essentially recreate that environment in the body that results in the most opportune conditions for that egg to fertilize with the sperm and attach to the walls of the uterus.
Basically, all that means is they're doing a lot of work to get my uterine lining nice and fluffy. The first period that came after my endometriosis surgery, I was put, I started taking this medication called Lupron, which, from my understanding, if you're on it long enough or even short enough, it makes your body, it thinks it's in like menopause, and it could put you in clinical menopause actually. So it's basically shutting down anything that has to do with ovulation because, like, basically the doctor wants to take control, major control over my body and, like, not have the unpredictability of, like, an ovulation in there. So my body thinks it's in menopause, but so that means if my body thinks it's, like, if there's no ovulation happening, then there's no signal for my uterine lining to get fluffy. So then I start to take estrogen because estrogen, I think, is, like, the rise in estrogen is what makes your uterine lining fluffy. I am probably not explaining this right, but this is the way I explain it to myself, and it seems to make sense. I had my first lining check, and it wasn't as fluffy as the doctor liked. She wants it above 8, and when I came in the first time, it was at 7.
So bottom line, again, the way it kind of looks to me is like your body does all this stuff, right? This hormone causes this hormone to rise, and then that results in like a good environment for the embryo or whatever. Doctors have essentially shut all of that down and trying to control everything themselves. So that's why there's all these injections that we're trying to compensate for what the body would
Yeah.
do naturally in some sense.
So I'm taking estrogen. I'm taking it both vaginally and patches on my stomach. Started adding progesterone to my regimen. And I stopped the Lupron, thank God, because I have been, you could attest to this, extremely tired, really irritable. Just, it's not a fun medication to be on at all. So I'm glad that stopped. But so now I'm just on estrogen and basically progesterone. And that'll continue up until my transfer. I started acupuncture again. I'm going to the spa tomorrow. Nikhil, for my birthday, got me a gift certificate to get a massage that I wanted to wait.
5 months ago.
Yeah, that I wanted to wait for closer to the transfer so I could like maximize my relaxedness. So that's happening.
This feels like a different type of transfer, kind of, because of the endometriosis. This is like the first transfer where I feel it's not a transfer for unexplained fertility. This feels like a new IVF era for me.
Yeah, I don't feel that same way. I just feel really nervous because it's like at this point we've done everything, and like if it doesn't work, then I think that's like a really scary place to be in. But I am really excited still, and I do agree like that we've uncovered the root. This is my first time doing a transfer at this clinic, but my third clinic doing a transfer, which is crazy to think about. So I get acupuncture like right before my transfer. So I'll do it right before and then right after also. Also, my last doctor, which is actually very unusual, put me under anesthesia. But this doctor will put me on Valium. My first clinic, they didn't put me on anything. The procedure overall will be like pretty easy. So they basically just get a catheter and they insert it in me and they try and get it to where it needs to go. It's all done via ultrasound. The other weird thing about the transfer is they like it when your bladder is like pushing down, so it helps them to visualize things better. So I have to have a full bladder, which in the past has been really uncomfortable. And this place is a little bit different also, where they're gonna have me on bed rest for 48 hours.
After the transfer, I think we had to wait 10 days, right, before we'll get any kind of indication of success or whatnot.
What they look at is your, they call it beta or like HCG levels. And that's like a hormone that comes up when you're pregnant. But even if it's positive on day 10, this happened to us at our last clinic, it only counts as a pregnancy if like that number goes up on day 12. If we get positive news on day 10, that's a great sign, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we are pregnant. It's not until the day 12 one where it would confirm that we're pregnant. So yeah, so it's an exciting time. Like this is where all of our work has led us to, and
It's kind of what you're waiting for the whole time.
yeah,
So it's a big day, but you don't learn anything on that day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's a big day, but it's kind of anticlimactic because you then wait 10 more days to get any kind of indication of
yeah.
whether it worked. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
See what happens. So I guess that's it.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
We'll see you online. Bye.